You already know what it is, pimp. Juices and berries. So I found this article very interesting. I guess people is gonna believe it now that a white person said it. However, uh, this is also what happens when white people get off code. Other white people don't like that. They don't like when you get off code and say some truth, especially when it benefits the Negroes. So Sheryl Swoopes is right. Black people can't be racist. Notice that they put that in opinion, right? They want to make sure that they want you to know it's coming from her and it's opinionated because they don't feel that way. Obviously, they think everything could be racist when they the only true ones that can only be racist. We'll be right back on the Keep It P podcast. What we gonna do? I think this is like them shenanigans. Is this like the PC shenanigans? Yeah, let me hold on real quick, y'all. Let me give y'all these little shenanigans real quick. Or actually, I say I ain't done this in a while. Let's hold the mail. Hee.
Music Tuesday.
Kendra, you're the best. Kendra Blackwood is the fucking.
All yiggity yizel. So Sheryl Swoopes says that black people can't be racist. And I agree. Finally, somebody's telling the truth. It says WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes has come under an avalanche of criticism. An avalanche. What colors are avalanche? So basically they said all of the white people came down on her. Like I just told y'all. Under an avalanche of criticism for saying that black people can't be racist. Last month, Swoopes questioned the ability of University Iowa's women's basketball player Caitlin Clark, who is white, to break the division and scoring record. Her remarks, some of which she has walked back and apologized for, caused a fuss on social media. No, y'all was just spanking her little bottom for getting off code on the white side of the game. That's what y'all was doing. But it says where some users accuse her of race. Now she racist now. So you see how that works, right? Some of her accuse her of racism. Swoopes responded to accusations in part by commenting that black people can't be racist, causing even more backlash. But Swoopes is right. Black people can't be racist, at least not according to most useful definition of racism given by a group of mainly white legislators in 1968. This group was formed in 1968 after urban black communities throughout the 1960s erupted in racial unrest. No, we was being racially targeted. It wasn't racial unrest. White people was attacking black people in the towns that we pulled our own selves up by our bootstraps and got away from y'all and was doing our own thing. It wasn't racial unrest. It was y'all jealous because we came came from the bottom and got something. And y'all like, they over there doing better than we and let's go burn their town down. That's what happened. I hate when they say that. Anyway, this is primarily over a pattern of police abuse and the killing of young black men. No. Town lynchings and the KKK hanging women, men, and children. It just wasn't black men. Just so we clear. See, they always lying. But anyway, an uprising in Harlem occurred in the summer of 1964 over a police shooting death of a 15-year-old James Powell. Does that sound familiar? James Powell. What was his name? What was this? Mike Brown. Right? Watts went flame. So, but then also in that same Harlem joint, that was I wasn't at the Zoot Suit joint where the Mexicans was just beating up and killing black people for no reason. That was the Zoot Suit riot right there. You can see that depicted in what movie? I forgot what movie I watched that in, but yeah, they was just catching random black people, giving it to them, jealous. Then to say Watts went up a flame in the summer of 1965 after 21-year-old Marquette Fry was beaten by police. 2 years later came the long, hot summer of 1967, which saw racial uprisings in more than 150 states. No, it wasn't racial uprisings. It was white people attacking black communities. That even actually happened in Minneapolis, where I'm from. Plymouth burnt down. They say it was over. They say it was us burning down our own joints, but I don't believe that. That was them Jewish and other and other little Scandinavian little slumlords that burnt down the property so that they can move out to the suburbs, because they burnt down them properties on Plymouth, all them businesses on Plymouth, and they never came back. And now it's got the University of Minnesota over there on the north side, all the way from the University of Minnesota on the southwest side. But I digress. Anyway, it goes on to say in the early morning of July 23, 1967, the Detroit police raided an unlicensed after hours club in mostly black part of the town. People inside were celebrated in return of the local black veterans and the veterans of war. All of the patrons were arrested, and simmering racial tensions in Detroit exploded into a full-scale bloody battle between the police and Detroit's black community. When has this ever happened to any other community? How come you don't never hear about them going to war with the Asian community, in which they actually should, because they are the plug on everything? Guns, drugs, everything. You get everything from the Asians, yet and still, you ain't never heard this scenario happen in Chinatown. They ain't went to no battles or no wars with the Asian community, but yet you hear full-scale bloody battle between police and the Detroit black community. Ain't that the same thing that happened in Rosewood? Ain't that the same thing that happened in Tulsa? Ain't that the same thing that happened in Philly? Both of which they dropped bombs on the black community from the sky to blow up the neighborhood. Have they ever blown up anything in Chinatown? Nope. It goes on to say the riot lasted 5 days and resulted 43 deaths, 33 of which were black people, most of whom were shot and killed by police officers, but also members of the National Guard, store owners, security guard, and U.S. Army paratroopers. So they got to bring the whole Navy to the hood for black people, yet Chinatown jumps and skips all through criminality, none the wiser. All right. It's we ain't even talking about the criminal underworld. We talking about the ones that you can see. Boy, if I did a Google Maps right now and went up Spring Mountain, which is Chinatown, and showed y'all the largest concentration of massage parlors you ever want to see in your life, and they still going on right now. Anyway, this is the nitty though. To say 11-member commission with Governor Otto Kern served as its chairman, had 2 black members, Edward Brooke, then a U.S. Senator from Massachusetts, and Roy Wilkins, the head of the NAACP. They also have a stadium named Roy Wilkins in St. Paul that I performed at when I was a shorty. That's crazy. But anyway, matter of fact, it now makes sense why Roy Wilkins will be in that part of St. Paul, because that's the Rondo neighborhood that was destroyed by eminent domain with the 94 highway, which split the community in two and ruined all the businesses on purpose. And now they just got like a little parade every year to commemorate the Rondo community, right? when I got older, I didn't realize what had happened, but that happened not only in the Rondo community, but on the north side of Minneapolis too. Like the highway split up, all the businesses, split them up, get them out of here. Anyway, it says the group returned findings that did not please Johnson or many others. Instead of finding that the outside agitators or troublemakers instigated these uprisings, the commission squarely pinned the blame on white racism. White racism is essentially responsible for the explosive mixture which had been accumulating in our cities since the end of World War II, the commission said. But the Kerner Commission did not stop there. It went on to offer a clear and extremely useful definition of racism. Racism was not simply hatred or prejudice based on skin color. Racism occurred when power was added to prejudice. The power to affect someone's life physically, economically, educationally, politically, or otherwise. Let me say that again. All right. For all the snow people who be trying to be like, that's reverse racism, dude. No, just because you feel bad about what your ancestors did and we're pointing it out, that's not racist, fam. Just because we pointing out the inconsistencies in the way police treat white people and black people, that's not racist, fam. Just because we say Eminem is not the king of hip hop, that's not racist, fam. It's not. Because guess what we don't have? The power to physically, economically, or anything otherwise to affect this man from getting his paper in the rap industry. We ain't got the power to do that. Because guess what would happen if we did? He wouldn't even be there. We wouldn't even be having a Mac Miller or an Eminem or any of those conversations. Matter of fact, when we had the power, what happened to Vanilla Ice? What happened to MC Snow? Informer, something there. I lick you boom boom down. What happened? What happened to Third Base? What happened? Beastie Boys flew under the radar. They did rock hip hop. We wasn't even really into that. Only song that we liked is black two songs. The only two songs black people like of the Beastie Boys that got them through was Brass Monkey and Paul Revere. The zoo, 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 just because the beat was backwards. That's it. It's only two songs, man. All that new robotic, all that, we ain't mess with none of that. Two songs. And that's how they slipped in from the beginning. It was the Beastie Boys. We had to look around and be like, dang, they already got. And they came out with a rap album fast, too. Notice how fast the Beastie Boys came out. Anyway, as I digress. But write this down, take a picture, use this. Racism occurs when power is added to prejudice. The power to affect someone's physical life, physically, economically, educationally, politically, or otherwise. You understand what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I don't even got to read no more. But I'm going to go ahead and just finish it out. Black or white or anyone can be prejudiced. Listen now. Black or white, anybody can be prejudiced. Anybody can. I might not like you because of your skin color, and that makes me prejudiced. But it doesn't automatically make me racist unless I have the power to impact your life because of my prejudice. You understand? There are a few, if any, areas in American life where black holds so much power. Thus, Sheryl Swoopes was correct. Black people cannot be racist. but that doesn't mean that they can't be prejudiced. They can. And guess what? Let's ask this. Let's ask the question. Is the prejudice that black people could harbor justified? Do black people have a reason for justifiable prejudices and bigotry? Do we? I mean, because ain't that like a survival mechanism? Like, don't you learn to recognize patterns? Or like, even if you was an animal, if a certain they have evolved to know you don't mess with that animal because that animal is dangerous. That animal will kill me. That animal will eat my baby eggs. That animal will do whatever. Animals know that, and they can't even talk. So you saying us as people, animals with inherent things, we shouldn't put two and two together and be somewhat leery or cautious of that animal which has clearly done harm to me and my ancestors for those so long. I mean, and it ain't stopped either. It'd be a different story if any of this stuff stopped. It's continual. The tab is still running. It says the definition of racism opens a door to an intelligent, important conversation about the power gaps between black and whites. Once that makes the definition between racism and prejudice, police brutality, overwhelmingly white on black violence, is an example of racism enacted physically. Redlining, where black people couldn't buy homes or receive loans in certain area, is a form of economic racism. Preventing the teachers of black history in the form of educational racism, just like DeSantis and them in Florida trying to take black history out of schools because it makes little Timmy feel bad to hear what his great grandfather did. And they don't even go that far back. Great grandfather. Don't even go that far back. Grandfather too. It says the black woman disparaging the abilities and the career choices of a white female basketball player may be prejudice, but it doesn't rise to the level of racism as defined by the Kenner Commission. They said it. We just going off the definition from the white man. They said it. Listen, I agree. I applaud her for coming out and saying what she needed to say. And that ain't even Sheryl Swoopes. Anyway, I don't know why they got her up there. But anyway, black people can't be racist. Why we can't be racist? Let me tell you again, in case y'all forgot. It's pretty quite simple. Because racism occurs when power is added to prejudice. Black people can be prejudiced. Actually, I would say rightfully so in some cases. I mean, geez Louise. But anyway, racism we cannot be. It just can't happen. Because you have to have the power to affect somebody's life physically, economically, educationally, and politically. And then I would actually say we the most anti-racist that there are, because even with a lack of said power, we impact people's lives physically, economically, educationally, and politically. By fighting for brothers and sisters to come over here from their little war-torn little places that they flee from, in the hopes that we was going to impact our numbers to help fight against this system of white supremacy, to replace it with a system of justice. But no, after we affected these lives physically, economically, and educationally, come on over here, brother. Y'all look like us. We gonna show you how it is to get down on here. We gonna show you what the rules is, and y'all come live in our neighborhoods. We gonna show y'all what it is for y'all to grow up, emulate our styles, And all the while we didn't know your parents was like, stay away from them ikatas, and stuff. We didn't know that. Y'all just mad now because we just finding out how y'all been feeling about us forever. Everybody's mad now because foundational Black Americans is finding out what it really is. I don't know how we were so blind. I was once blind, but now I see. But yeah, I can go on and on with this. I ain't gonna hold you, but I'm gonna mold you, fold you, and scold you about being on code. And I need you to do 4 things for me. I need you to go ahead and subscribe for the vibe, like for the spike, comment your vomit, share if you care about getting Black empowerment everywhere. Let me know what you think about this subject because it's deep. And let me look you square in the retinas, fam. I got love, peace, blessings, and aloha. I'm out the door. For sure. You already know.